I'm gonna start off by saying that no, I am not a Grandmaster or top 500 Widowmaker. I'm just a friendly neighborhood plat spider woman that happens to have a couple hundred hours invested in one hero. When I started playing Overwatch back in 2016, I was a Widowmaker one chick who would grind quick play all day. I stopped playing DPS once they added in role queue, so I think that was September 2019, when competitive season 18 started. Role queue helped me, but also really changed how I played Overwatch because I was not about to sit through a 10-minute queue to play a game that would last 3 to 5 minutes long, most likely ending with a loss. So ever since then, I've been playing support and casually playing ranked as an Ana one trick. With my background out of the way, I can explain why I wanted to make this video. A couple days ago, I was scrolling on Twitter and came across a bunch of people talking about crossplay coming to Overwatch. I rushed to check to see if what they were saying was legit, and lo and behold, it was. Unfortunately, I also heard the news that when console players are playing with PC players, they will no longer be able to use aim assist. I'll admit, I kind of panicked at this. I kind of panicked a lot. It is pretty much impossible to aim using a controller, so aim assist is my only salvation. The gameplay you were seeing earlier, or whenever I decide to edit it in, the gameplay on Numbani, was me using aim assist, probably a couple hours before I found out we wouldn't be able to use aim assist in PC lobbies. Now, a lot of you may say, but if we aren't allowed to use aim assist in PC lobbies, then just don't play with PC players, which is a valid argument because console players will not be matched with PC players unless they're in a group with PC players. In addition, the ranked or competitive mode will not allow PC players to play with any console players, so why should it matter? Well, if you clicked on this video, you're probably interested in what I have to say about aim assist, but this is mostly targeted to people who want to play in PC lobbies with their friends. I myself have a lot of friends who play Overwatch on PC, and I am not about to get into their lobbies and get absolutely demolished because I was thrown into freezing waters without at least experience swimming. Yes, I do realize that people who use mouse and keyboard will always have the upper hand against people with a controller, with all their freedom in choosing different keybinds and ones that have easier access, in addition to it just being easier to aim with a mouse and much more. But hopefully I can help you out with your settings. With that being said, let's actually get to the information you came here for. The first tip being, do not drastically change your settings. God, that is like exactly what I want you to avoid and pretty much the entire point of this video. For example, if you go from 80 aim assist to 0 aim assist right away, you will have a lot of trouble aiming. Maybe it'll take you a couple hours to get used to it, maybe it'll take a couple days, maybe a couple weeks. It is important to keep in mind that when I say literally anything, it's just a generalization and may not apply to you specifically. But yeah, when you turn down your aim assist, I wouldn't recommend turning it down by more than 15 each time, so turn down your aim assist by 5, 10, or 15 and get used to the settings. Then when you feel ready, turn them down 5, 10, 15 more, and so on until you get to 0. It is a much more effective way of adjusting your settings and will make it much easier. But if you aren't trying to learn how to aim without aim assist, then this next part is for you. It is important to note that aim assist does not track the enemy hero's head, it tracks the soul orb in their body. Soul orbs are these things. This means that it is much harder to hit flick shots if you are playing with aim assist. You may not be able to notice the difference by just looking at these clips, but you will definitely be able to tell once you try for yourself. In the clip where I do use aim assist, I can feel that my crosshair is being dragged slightly once I reach Tracer's hitbox. Of course, it doesn't drag that much because I've gotten used to it, so I guess I automatically aim more to counter it. Also, it isn't that strong, but it is noticeable and does make flicking harder. In the second clip, where I'm using 0 aim assist, I can feel that the flick is so much smoother and easier to hit because my crosshair isn't aiming for me. I have free control over where I'm going to shoot and I'm not being slowed down by anything.
Te voilà.
Yes, I am recommending that you turn down your aim assist, so moments like this will be avoided.
Mess. Helden sterben nicht. Down for the count. Bob, do something!
At first glance, you may think, wow, she aimed her bob so terribly and completely missed her target, which is true. However, it was not my fault that I missed it. My crosshair was actually tracking Tracer because of my aim assist, which led to my bob being sent too far to the right and eventually being rendered useless. We did lose the point here, so it was a game-changing mistake. If I had been able to place the bob at the back of the point, many would have turned around to focus fire him, and that would have given me an easier opening to pick them off without the pressure of them shooting at me too. If you're doubting that it was my settings that did this, I just want to mention that I have my aim assist set to 100 on Ash. While I was aiming, I could clearly feel my crosshair resisting me, so I violently turned my stick to the left to try and counter it, but to no avail. So yeah, if you want to avoid moments like that, then definitely take a look at adjusting your aim assist settings. This carries me over to my next tip, which is regarding the aim assist window. This is just an inference, and I have no idea whether this is accurate at all, but I just want to point it out that when you turn your aim assist window down really far, it is probably going to lock onto the soul orb in the enemy team's body and make it harder for you to aim at their head. So, the smaller and more precise it is, the more it drags your crosshair away from your preferred target while you're playing Hitscan, which is the head. So, on the other hand, if you have your window too big, then it will make it harder for you to aim at enemies that are in a group together because your crosshair will keep being dragged by another enemy that runs in front or is to the side of your preferred target. If you were trying to shoot a McCree that was shooting at you, but a Lucio runs in front of him or something, then your crosshair is going to get dragged by the Lucio and lead you to miss your shot on the McCree, and that will potentially lead to you dying. So, yeah. Back to the general aim assist tips though. When you turn your aim assist down, you should also look into your regular sensitivity or your scope sensitivity as well. This is because when you turn it down, everything is a lot smoother and faster. If you have your sensitivity at 50-40 or 70-75, etc., and you turn your aim assist down, then your regular sensitivity will no longer feel like 50-40 or 70-75, because it will then be faster. Definitely recommend playing around and maybe decreasing everything by 1 to 10 or whatever feels best. Another thing to note is that when you're adjusting your settings, don't only account for one type of aim style or type of shot like trick-shotting. I make this mistake quite often, and I only adjust my settings to make sure I'm happy with my tech shots and my turning in close range. So by the time I get into a regular game, I struggle a lot with aiming at targets that are in medium to far range because I never accounted for that when I originally adjusted my settings. You want to make sure that all around your settings allow you to deal with flankers in close range and snipers at long range at the same time. Your fast sensitivity may be good for when tracers and Genjis dive you, but they also may fuck up any sniper duels that you are going to take. The perfect sensitivity is what will allow you to do all of those things at once. It may take a while to find out what works best, but it will be completely worth it in the long run. So with that, I hope I managed to help you in some way. Unfortunately, I can't make this video any longer because then my editor will completely die and explode my phone. Yes, I'm editing this on my phone, but if you have any questions, then definitely leave a comment and I'll try to answer it if I can because I definitely do have more to say.